So this is Dr. Brenda with the Corner Bench, and I'm starting a second video. I was talking about relational health, and I was saying how in the very beginning I was sharing how difficult it was for me to start this and be consistent with it, and with the weight loss, because that's what it really all boiled down to. And starting this, I'm putting and adding more content. But before I ever started putting anything up, some family members was visiting from North Carolina, and there was a gentleman who was with the family members, and he was one of the most encouraging. And it's sad that I don't know people's name, but I know who he is. But he has said something that encouraged me in such a way that he says to, go ahead and do. He felt like I was speaking useful. He said that he had gotten more out of holding a conversation with me that day than, generally he thought he would generally. But he just thought he gained a lot of insight just from us talking, holding a conversation. And I appreciated him saying that, because I was doing a little struggle with doing this and not doing this, and oh, I don't want to start it and not finish, or because life is happening every day for everybody. And he made me really stop putting it off. He made me stop putting it off. And I'm thankful for him, because I even think back to that day we were sitting on the porch, and he said it may be something that could benefit us all, just to be able to come here and to be on this social media. And that was encouraging. Some might think, oh, well, that's not nothing, but it's something. It's big, because if you don't have people, pushing you and telling you, and this guy, we haven't sat in one another's presence regularly, but it's amazing when sometimes, could be people around you and they're so used to seeing you, and you are so familiar to them that they don't see sometimes the other things in you, or may not know how to express those things that they may see in you. And we don't always express those things we see in others. So for the fact that he saw something that he felt like somebody needed to hear, I appreciate him encouraging me to do that. And I'm doing it, Woo, woo! He caused me to stop putting it off. And I appreciate him for that. And I'm glad. So it's giving me, because I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher by heart. I remember when I was younger, and I'm like I had an older sister, she passed on. And to God be the glory. But we had this closet. It was a nice size closet, like as big as a bathroom. But it was actually deeper, big bathroom. And I love big bathrooms. I like to go to places just because of the bathrooms. They're spacious, But anyway, and there was a closet there. So I was always the school teacher, with my siblings and my cousins, because there was always a lot of us. And I was always a school teacher there. And I had the room, prepared, because I was a teacher. And I've always been the teacher, so I'm comfortable doing it. And I always try to get some insight, understanding over the course of my life. I'm the type of person, I ask a lot of questions, because things have to make sense to me. I'll keep asking the question until the light bulb come on, until the lock happens, until the floodgates open. Like, I get it now. So I asked enough questions in order to be able to get it. So, but I think that gentleman, and I have to get his name, maybe I'll see it in another session, But that gentleman um, don't even know how, he was such an encouragement to me. And that's a building a relationship. I will always have an endearing feeling towards that person, because I believe he was one, to push me past a fear. Push me past a fear. Yeah. So relationships are great. Relational health. And sometimes check on folk as much as you can, because truth be told, sometimes people are going through stuff and we don't get a chance to check on them, or we don't take the time to check on them. So I always would say, make sure that you check on your nucleus. If you don't get a chance to check on, the extended, check on the nucleus, like the parents check on the children, and the children check on their children, and the children check on the parent. Yeah, check on your cousins, check on your aunties, your uncles, as much as you possibly can, especially if you have a relationship with them, those ones closest to you. Because there's always somebody talking to the other from that nucleus to the next nucleus. And if there's anything going on positive, we have graduations going on. That's relationship. One of my family members said her baby is about to be having a recital. Would I want to come? Of course I want to come. Invite me. I can't say that I can always come, but if I'm free, sure, why not? That's what we're here for. We're here to encourage those kids to in whatever path they want to go, so that they can know that there's somebody rooting them on and cheering for them. It's important. And then we're getting a chance to see our young children's talents, their abilities. I can't wait to do my tags, my talents, abilities, and gifts, and your skills. That's a whole nother teaching that I do, because those are the things where I talked about, and I think I may have talked about it in economical health. Sometimes you have to use your tags, your talents, your abilities, your gifts. And I'm saying TAGS, T dot A dot G dot S dot tags. Your talents, your abilities, your gifts, and your skills. And in all of those areas, you can be a beginner, you can be pretty much developed in it, but then sometimes you get to a place of expertise. And in every area, with those tags, that may be the extra thing that brings the income in for you. You might have a set thing going on for your livelihood, but you might need a second stream. You may want something a little more. And I'm so sorry I'm not paying attention to this. I should probably bring it over so, I could look like I'm really more into this camera, this recording, than I am into this live. But bear with me. Anyway, but overall, yeah. So exercising your tags, and in the midst of that, while you're using, because your tags are generally not for you. You learn about yourself, you develop them, but you're developing them to share with us. That America's Got Talent phenomenon. That's amazing, because it gives people the opportunity to come and, express all of those shows. And I probably can't call out any other one of them, but X Factor or something like that, but it gives people a chance to express their talents and give us a chance to hear their talents. It's extraordinary when people are able to express their abilities, what they're able to do. When I was younger, I did wood shop. I love wood shop, and I love wood to this day. I really do. I just think it's beautiful. I like to feel it when I come in contact. I like textures. I like textures in my food. I like textures in my clothes. I want texture. So, we used to make these beautiful piece of wood, and then we would have to nail those teeny little nails wherever the stencil told us to nail it. Oh my God. And we would take that string and rope that string or wrap that string around the nails in a certain way, create color, and put in different colors. And it would come out to be something beautiful, like a boat. Like I remember doing one. And I don't know where it is. With time you lose things. But I always felt like that was fascinating. I had the ability to do that. And did I do it again after that? No. But when I get the chance, go to a craft store. I got some grandkids, and they come and spend time with me. So that's an activity, something like that. I love to think of activities to do because I'm building relationships with my grands, and you may not get a chance to see them all the time and you want to see them. But, we all got stuff going on. But anytime we get a chance to build those, because it makes me feel better. And I know it makes you feel better when you come in contact with people because we're working on our relational health. When I know that I can walk into a room and I can hug you because we don't have any problems that I caused. No problems I caused. Now, they may be problems, but I didn't cause them. I'm totally innocent. And I may be 100% guilty. But when I can walk into a room and I can hug and embrace you, that's a beautiful thing. And if I can't hug and embrace you, I'm happy that I got a chance to lay my eyes on you because I don't wish you no harm, no hurt. Never will and never did. So, being able to have a healthy relationship, and truth be told, like I said, letting go and moving on, you won't always have a healthy relationship with everybody. But that's when you count the cost. You count the cost of that relationship. That's family. It's going to always be family. I don't ever want to change that. Not that I ever could. But that don't mean that you have to sit in the same room if you don't feel comfortable doing it anymore. And then there may be times when you have to sit in the same room. And you may pass one another. Hopefully that relationship blends to a place where you can, be able to touch one another again. Touch to me is powerful. Some people don't like to touch, but touch to me is powerful because it lets the individual know how much I care about them. That's all. That you can feel in my heart that I don't wish you no harm. Because I'm relationally healthy, Period. I can hug you. I can embrace you because I don't feel no ill will. And that's where you keep a clean conscience when it comes to your relationships because God knows what you feel. God knows why you feel it. God knows the cause of it all. But that still don't give you a right to be harmful to others. Repay no man evil for evil, but overcome evil with good. Always do good. Always do good. Why not? Why not? Why not? So me and some friends who was going out, they treated me out to dinner. And we have elements in walking and stuff. I always feel like, and I probably said this before, I sometimes can become redundant, but anyway, I said if I'm supposed to be a place, God will always provide a parking space close enough because he already know I'm not walking a mile. I'll keep riding home. But if I'm supposed to be there, I'll search and he provides it. So this particular time we were going out to eat and I was driving and I pulled straight up to the door because I know they have a little issue with walking. I pulled straight up to the door and there was no parking space because if it was a close parking space, then I could have parked and we got out. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to put them to the door. And I know God is going to provide me a space. And it touched my heart because of that faith and having that confidence to know God is always going to take care of you. Do right by others. And it's healthy relationships. So I pulled them up to the door. Soon as I pulled them up to the door, honestly, for me going into this place to have a meal, the absolute best parking spot possible. The person came out of wherever they were, pulled out of that spot, nobody else was contending for that spot, I was able to pull right into it. And I was so glad. I was like, thank you, God. But it happens all the time. I went to another place recently, and this place has hard parking. You got to park a far way away just to get into it. But it's a nice place to go hang out. So this particular day, I went there to sit and chill, sit with family. Soon as I rolled up there, to God be the glory, somebody was leaving the parking lot, and I was able to park right in the first spot to the door. And I don't have a handicap stick. I keep saying I'm going to apply for one, but I don't have one. But so I always rely on God to make sure to provide me with a close enough spot, because my knees can't handle but so much. And I go places where I generally don't have to climb any stairs. One, and I'm always asking, help me up. I do what I got to do to get to where I got to go. But yeah, but it's, did I stay on topic? Do anybody have a question? Hey, Scott Lucas, how are you? You're probably going. I don't know who is late. It's late. So I'm just trying to get some live. I actually do these when I can, but I'm glad I got my last video, my beers, my relational health done. And I'm going to do my social health next. And I'm not going to do it tonight. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that. So last thing I was talking about was our tags and how our gifts, I was talking about our abilities before, and our gifts. What are your gifts? Your gifts are also, used when it comes to how you interact with your relationships, your relational health. Because sometimes your gifts are the things that help you be healthy relationally. So it's like, how can I be the best version of me so that I can present that in a relationship? Whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a platonic would be that business relationship, whether it's a parental relationship, how am I treating those people who are over me in terms of age? Because over me in terms of status, let's not even go there, because people, we don't want the mentality of, oh, somebody think I'm better than them. I was sharing with someone, I went to visit family and ran into some people I enjoy seeing when I get a chance to see them. And we were talking. Wow, I'm trying to see what part I wanted to bring on. I think it kind of escaped my thoughts. But we were sitting talking about about relationships and how to interact. And I said, I always leave doors open, because even though you may because I live a life like people are more important than things. So if people are more important than things, then that thing that, is a problem, whatever the case may be, like I said, I don't hold those issues. I'll leave it alone, but I'm going to keep the door open. So, and that's what I said. If you've done everything you could to repair a relationship, and the ball is out of your court, you can maybe at a later time try and reconcile at another point, especially if you love that person and you want to have a relationship with them. Maybe at a later time it would be another opportunity to be able to build that relationship. Otherwise, you may need to just let it simmer, let it phase out in terms of the emotions, because usually people break relationships because of emotions. That's why. I feel some type of way. You made me feel some type of way. I feel, or you feel, no longer the way we felt. So it's already, it's usually with emotions. Somebody did me wrong and I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm disappointed, I'm discouraged, I'm depressed. It's all of those emotions that come up that ruin relationships. And the emotion of, if you're cruel, I say, and my anger management, when I'm teaching effective communication skills, I share with people, because some people are not assertive when they speak or when they try to address others. They're not as forthright or frank. I say my name is Frank because I'm going to just say it, period. Yeah, I'm sorry. And it may be, not what a person want to hear, but I say to people all the time, it's like, you have a right to say whatever you want to say, but you don't have a right to hurt somebody else's feelings. That's when we cross the line. Yeah, because we can plan, we can plot, we can conjure up the whole scenario in our mind and let it play out as we did. But it's going to destroy relationships. It's going to destroy relationships. So just the same way we concoct this stuff in our mind to be able to blow it and open up like a pressure cooker and spill on everybody else. If you open that pressure cooker up and you that pressure cooker and you open up while you steaming like that, I promise you, everybody around you going to get hurt. And you too. You too. If you blowing up, it's nowhere in the world that you're not going to be affected by blowing up. And you could have let it simmer. And not, don't say anything. If you feel like you need to what? Calm down before you say anything, because you don't want to destroy this relationship. And you don't want to allow a situation to bring you to a place where you're destroying relationships within yourself, because you have a relationship with you. How you treat yourself, how you let others treat you, that's your relationship with you. So you want to be in a position where you're not only making sure that others treat you the way that you want to be treated ultimately, but you're treating other people the way. Somebody said the problem with treating someone the way I remember the young lady. We were live on TikTok, and I remember her face as I'm thinking about it. And we were talking, and I said, we were talking, holding conversation, treat others the way others treat you. And she said, the problem is, she don't like that idea, in a sense, she was saying, because she realized that people don't know how to treat themselves. So they don't know how to treat themselves. So that's why they try and treat her negatively, because they don't treat themselves right. And I was like, okay, I get it. I get the logic behind it. Because there are some people that don't know how to treat themselves. They don't have a healthy relationship with themselves. They don't. We can ingest stuff. We can take in stuff. We can constantly put things in us that's killing us on a regular basis. That's not a healthy relationship with ourselves. We can do things to harm us. I remember I was over my old alma mater. I was there and I was doing some anger management with some students. And there was a beautiful young lady who I got a chance to, a few young ladies, but this one particularly, she was having difficulty in school. She threw a chair at the teacher. And yeah. And I want to know why. Like, what would make you do that? The fact is that she wasn't mad at her teacher. She wasn't. She was upset because her and her mom was living with the auntie. And it doesn't seem like the auntie was being as, I don't know. I don't know the right word maybe to say, but she felt like the aunt could throw them out at any time and she was experiencing all this stress at home because she's not being treated right. Her mom, but she can't take it out on the auntie in a sense because then they'll get kicked out. So she's going to school flaring up because she's still in her emotions, mad at something that's going on at home. And it breaks your heart because people are going through so much, so many things. And maybe you can help them, maybe you can't. But those are the situations, and we think it's, something minor. But yeah, you have to sometimes get down to the root of why people are going through. But yeah, she was having experiences at home in her living situation that caused her, and it's not justified, never is. No, not justified. Don't think I feel that way. But the fact is, there's sometimes things that happen and people not knowing how to handle their emotions, they react out. And we need to learn, So I teach people you have a right to say what it is that you want to say, but you don't have a right to hurt someone else's feelings. And we have to be careful how, because we don't want to hurt someone. I remember when I was raising my boys, I used to always, because I was a single mom, and you're still a single mom, but all my boys are grown. But I needed to know how to raise these boys. I didn't grow up with brothers in the house with me. So, I didn't have interaction with, I had beautiful cousins like that on my brothers, but they didn't live in the house with me. So, and yeah, we go to visit them and spend a lot of time with them. But truth be told, I didn't wake up in the morning, go to sleep at night with brothers in the house. So I didn't know how to have brothers, And so a mom grow up, I have sons. I raised 3 sons. So I'm a woman. I'm going to teach them, how to treat a woman. And I think they treat women well. I ain't saying it perfect. Just don't let nobody treat you not well. I don't care whether they're my sons or not. Anyway, but overall, I lose my thought. I don't know how I'll be going off on one tangent to the next. But maybe I'll get back to it. Because I was talking about see, I be needing help, but anyway, I don't remember. I was talking about relational health and, having a right relationship with yourself and how you treat others. I think I was talking about you have a right to say what you want. That's being assertive without hurting someone else's feelings. And I think that's most important in how to be assertive. One era, I used to be the type of person where I used to hold things in. Somebody say, "Would you do this for me?" I'd be like, "Yeah," and no, I don't want to because I got something else I got to do. But I'm trying to, do this for them too. Can't please everybody. And inside of me, I can't. I don't know how to say no. I know how to say no now. But there was a time I was the type of communicator that I don't assert myself. I just put it off. And that's not healthy because that causes issues in the body. When you saying no, when you saying yes to something you really mean no to, and you're doing it regularly all the time, it can create health issues. It's stressful. So having a balance of, yeah, I'll do that because I want to do it, or yeah, maybe I have to do it. And we ain't talking about if the mommy and the daddy and the kids gotta, need this, that, and you gotta do what you gotta do. But we're talking about situations where, people may have situations going on and they could have taken care of it in a different way to be prepared for it. And now they need all of this attention and help and expect you to run to help them. Once upon a time, yeah, you can do that. But as time go on, you learn to allow people to work out their own situations and problems. Because sometimes if you allow people to work out their own situations and problems, they'll avoid going into problems that they can get around. So if you got to keep digging yourself out of something because you keep jumping in the hole, at some point you're going to get tired of jumping in the hole. And that can be a balance across the board in all areas, whether it's behavioral, emotional, economical, relational, or socially. And even spiritually. Because we can be saying, oh, this is from God. And it don't necessarily mean that it is. And that's just true. We all have that opinion, no matter what. This has been fun. I'm glad I got a chance to do my chats, my talk. And thanks for hanging in there. I don't know if you'll watch this after the live is over, but I appreciate you tuning in. This is my love. And then something to do. Mwah.